2025, like many other years before it, has been certainly very interesting. For me, I'm so grateful for it because I had a lot of highs, had a lot of lows, but most importantly, I learned so much. Being 19, my brain is still like a sponge, it's absorbing so much new information and so many new experiences. And I think it's something we should all reflect on, of course, at the end of the year to think, have we grown or have we become stagnant? Have we become complacent? And the title of this video is certainly kind of a very aggressive and controversial one. But if you like, comment, share, subscribe, if you stick with me, I'm sure you will understand. Now, 2025 for me, as I said, was full of ups and downs. And the main thing that I learned, or the main thing that I learned from, was people. I learned so much about social skills, developing confidence, and the subtle lessons that you can learn from people. You can learn so much from people, both directly and indirectly, simply by observing them. I have been in so many situations where someone said something, someone acted in a certain way that I either agreed with or disagreed with, and then I sat silently afterwards thinking, why did they do it that way? What was the reason? What would I have done? And what was the best course of action? Was it what they did or what they could have done? And it's really this kind of thinking that we all need to latch onto in order to become better versions of ourselves. But a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people are too comfortable and they wait till an abstract, non existent number increases by a 1, that being the year going from 2025 to 2026, to start making plans, to start getting their life together, to start going to the gym, to start eating clean, to start working on a business. It is complete crap. You're lying to yourself. Resolutions, thinking, oh, I'll start January 1st. Utter crap. I'm sorry to sound so harsh and so negative, but if you were really serious about making a change in your life, you would start today. You would start as soon as possible. You would sign up to the gym. You would start your business. You would start reading more. You'd stop breaking out of your comfort zone and stop being so cowardly. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. And that is uncomfortable. If I think about to when I was 17 and I was so frustrated with my own mediocrity, I was trying to fit in. I was breezing through life, meandering through life, going with the flow, as people say. And it made me depressed. I was so unproud of my past because of how dull it was. I, of course, had good experiences with my friends, great memories with family. But when I was 17, if I looked past on the year, I was like, right, graduated from high school, and that's pretty much it. There was nothing really to write home about that I'd done majorly in my life that I felt like I'd accomplished. And so I wanted to improve myself. I literally went to YouTube and typed how to improve, not even how to improve speaking, how to improve eye contact, how to improve body language, finances, just how to improve. I was crying out for help. And then I found self improvement content. Of course, the main YouTuber I watched was Hamza. And even then, going from 2023 to 2024 to 2025, those 3 years have been arguably the most transformative of my entire life yet. Because I went from getting hooked on self-improvement to becoming bitter, hateful, and resentful, thinking I was superior to everyone else, to drifting away from friends who I thought I was no longer compatible with. And then we get on to 2025, and at the start of it, a lot of things came crashing down. People found old videos that I'd made, criticizing their lifestyle, being judgmental. And I just thought to myself, I wouldn't have it any other way. I went through the whole circle of being mediocre to self-improvement to being the worst version of myself to becoming the best version of myself. Self-improvement improved my life in this kind of backwards way where it reset my life. Everything that I wanted to be, whether that was to speak clearly, to speak with conviction, to be controversial, I became those things. I achieved those things that I set out I wanted to be, and realized that's not who I am. That's not what I need to be. That's not what I want to be. And there were changes that needed to be made. I needed to improve my health, needed to go to the gym, need to cut certain people out of my life. But the way that I did it, I'm glad I did it, but it was the wrong way to go about it. And I now know that because I went about it in such a volatile way. By latching on to red pill YouTubers like Hamza, learning things from Andrew Tate, being in denial about how corrupt I was. And we can call it a redemption arc, we can call it a transformative arc, but ultimately, you need to do something. And if you need to go to the extreme, kind of like I did, where you need to start slandering people on YouTube, I wouldn't recommend it because it got me in a lot of hot water. But my goodness, was it just so educational for me to try something that I thought was right and then realize it was wrong. Now, of course, take this advice with a pinch of salt. Don't do anything stupid, anything illegal, anything that is just going to completely destroy people around you, destroy yourself. Do not become psychotic. Do not become deluded with self-improvement and this idea that you need to be something. Because you don't have to be. But if you're watching a video like this, you have the desire to be. You want to be more than you are right now. You think that you suck. You think that life is not really worth living. So why not find something? Why not do something that makes life living? And the great thing about it is the doors are open. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pick A and then do B and then do C and then maybe go back to A and then just choose from these things for the rest of your life. You have the free will. You have been blessed with the free will to try a bunch of things. And if you're young, if you're 19, 20, time is on your side. Even if you're 38 and you think your life's all over, you've still got plenty of time to have a complete overhaul of your life. And to think, no, I am not going to go into 2026 doing what everyone else does. I joined the gym for a month and then cancel my membership. I buy a bunch of books that I never read. I eat clean for a week and then go back to the Doritos and cake. I try to start a YouTube channel or a business, but I never upload and never get started. Life doesn't have to be like this anymore. Are you going to have a year where you're miserable? Are you going to have a year where it was just the same as last year? And this is what makes life so mundane, so black and white, so horrible in adult life, because people are living Groundhog Day. They live in the same day over and over again. How can you not be depressed when you have the same routine of a job that you hate, hanging around with friends that you don't care about, in a relationship that you have no faith in? I am not surprised that you hate your life. I'm not surprised that you have no self-esteem. But I'm proud of you that you're making an effort. You want the best for yourself, and the one up above wants the best for you. You might not believe it, you might kind of think it, whatever it is, it's the truth, bro. And all I can say, I can't give you specific advice because what worked for me might not work for you. But all I can say is go back to the bare basics. Get your health in check. Get your wealth in check. Get your relationship in check. If you have these things in check, or if you start improving them from today, 2026 is going to be your year. Go to the gym, eat clean. Start getting a side hustle. Actually have a job that you enjoy that makes life worth living. Find something to work on in your spare time. Find something that you want to put loads of time to and you don't feel like you're going to regret for the rest of your life. And if you have no idea what you want to do, just pick something. I was frozen by fear, frozen by paralysis. I was so scared of picking the wrong thing and then being stuck with it. Or because I'm such a, I don't know, free spirit, I guess, I was afraid that I would pick something, absolutely hate it, quit it, and then start at zero. That I'd be 30 and then be like, oh, I'm having to start from this point. No, man. I'm not starting from zero. I'm starting from a fresh point with all the knowledge that I had from the previous point. I'm not at zero. I'm at a checkpoint. I've just saved my game. I've got all the knowledge, but I'm going to start a new mission and starting on something that I believe is passionate. And with the relationships, meet new people. If you don't like your friends, if you hate being around them, that is the worst kind of loneliness. There's loneliness and then there's feeling lonely when you're surrounded by people. You're going to have to cut people off who are not going on this progressive path the same way you are. You've got to escape the crabs in the bucket who are going to drag you down, who are going to make fun of you for going to the gym, for eating clean, for having a bedtime, for trying to get your finances in check, who will make fun of you for making YouTube videos and following your childhood dream. Cut them off and start going to places where there's going to be people who accept you and want you to thrive. You can do this anywhere. There's people in the gym like that. There's people at church or whatever religion you follow. There's people in running clubs. There's people in hikes. If you live in a city, you've got a great advantage. I struggle to find places like that because I live in a small town, but I've managed to make it work, and I become content with having a few close friends rather than 100 meaningless acquaintances, which is something that I thought I wanted, but I'm sticking with the bros for life, man. I only need about 2 or 3 people and a campfire to be happy. And so if you get these foundations built, the structure that you're going to build for your life is going to be biblical. It's going to be holy. It's going to be something that your future self is going to be so grateful for. He's going to smile and think, wow, how grateful I am to have a past self who didn't just follow the resolutions like everyone did and then just quit them after a month. He stuck with it. He was consistent. And now I get to reap the fruits of his labor. So, I think that's pretty much it. You know what you need to do. Click off this video. Don't start doom scrolling. Don't go back to your old ways. Make a plan and execute it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, bro. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. God bless. And as always, you take very good care of yourself.